breaking news as we come on the air in the West. The ABC News exclusive interview with President Biden, the future of his campaign at stake. Tonight, George Stephanopoulos, one-on-one with the president, his first televised interview since his faltering debate performance against Donald Trump. The questions millions of Americans are asking: is he mentally fit to be president? And can he defeat Trump in November? What he's now saying about calls to drop out of the race. At a rally in Wisconsin earlier today, Biden insisting, "I am running and going to win again." George's full interview airing in primetime tonight. How will voters respond? And Rachel Scott with late reporting on the state of the race. Also on this Friday night, Tropical Storm Beryl now taking aim at the Texas coast. The storm slowing from a hurricane, now with winds up to 70 miles per hour. It could regain strength before making landfall, hitting with a life-threatening storm surge. Mireya Villarreal in Texas. The wildfire emergency in the West. New fires erupting in California. Firefighters battling triple-digit temperatures. 158 million Americans on alert for dangerous heat. Las Vegas possibly hitting an all-time high. Overseas tonight, the seismic shift in British politics. The new prime minister riding a Labour Party wave into office. Conservative lawmakers swept from power in a historic landslide. James Longman in London. Here in New York, new images of a deadly crash on the 4th of July. 3 people killed by a suspected drunk driver. Video appearing to show a truck speeding through an intersection moments before slamming into a crowd of people celebrating the holiday in a park. The chilling image of a woman attacked by a shark in Texas. Her husband bitten, trying to save her. The same shark apparently attacking 4 people in all. The new warning about sharks in the water. The July 4th misfire, fireworks launching into the crowd, multiple people hurt. And America Strong tonight, a new mother in desperate need, and a police officer going above and beyond.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. It's great to have you with us as we come on the air in the West. I'm Whit Johnson in for David. We begin tonight with the ABC News exclusive, a remarkable moment in this or any presidential campaign. President Biden's first televised interview following last week's debate against Donald Trump that sent Democrats into a panic, igniting concerns about his mental acuity and his ability to stay in the race and lead the country for a second term. ABC's George Stephanopoulos, one-on-one with the president in Wisconsin, the interview late today with the future of the campaign at stake. Earlier, President Biden speaking to supporters during a campaign event in Madison, acknowledging calls for him to drop out, but telling the crowd he is staying in the race and will beat Donald Trump again. The entire interview will air in full tonight here on ABC. You're about to hear part of that conversation. Here's George Stephanopoulos with President Biden.
Let's start with the debate. You and your team have said you had a bad night. But your friend Nancy Pelosi actually framed the question that I think is on the minds of millions of Americans. Was this a bad episode or the sign of a more serious condition?
It was a bad episode. No indication of any serious condition. I was exhausted. I didn't listen to my instincts in terms of preparing, and I had a bad night.
You know, you say you were exhausted, and I know you've said that before as well, but you came, and you did have a tough month, but you came home from Europe about 11 or 12 days before the debate, spent 6 days in Camp David. Why wasn't that enough rest time, enough recovery time?
Because I was sick. I was feeling terrible. Matter of fact, the docs with me, I asked if they did a COVID test because they were trying to figure out what was wrong. They did a test to see whether or not I had some infection, a virus. I didn't. They just had a really bad cold.
And did you ever watch the debate afterwards?
I don't think I did, no.
Well, what I want to get at is what were you experiencing as you were going through the debate? Did you know how badly it was going?
Yeah, look, the whole way I prepared, nobody's fault, mine. Nobody's fault but mine. I prepared what I usually would do, sitting down, as I did come back with foreign leaders or the National Security Council, for explicit detail. And I realized about partway through that, I get quoted, the New York Times had me down at 10 points before the debate, 9 now, or whatever the hell it is. The fact of the matter is that what I looked at is that he also lied 28 times. the way the debate ran, not my fault, no one else's fault. No one else's fault.
But it seemed like you were having trouble from the first question in, even before he spoke.
Well, I just had a bad night.
George also asking the president to address concerns about his mental fitness.
Let me ask you a tougher, more personal question. Are you sure you're being honest with yourself when you say you have the mental and physical capacity to serve another 4 years?
Yes, I am, because, George, the last thing I want to do is not be able to meet that. I think, as some of the senior economists and senior foreign policy specialists say, if I stop now, I'd go down in history as a pretty successful president. No one thought I could get done what we got done.
But are you being honest with yourself as well about your ability to defeat Donald Trump right now?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
So much riding on tonight's interview. The stakes for President Biden and the Democratic Party could not be higher. I want to bring in ABC's Rachel Scott. And Rachel, amid all of this, you're learning another Democrat, this time a senator, is trying to organize a group to discuss Biden's path forward.
This is coming from Senator Mark Warner, who's the chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee, and he's trying to get a group of Democrats in the Senate together to discuss President Biden's path forward and whether he should step aside. We are told that privately, Senator Warner himself has raised concerns about whether President Biden is best suited to actually defeat Donald Trump this November. No Senate Democrat has publicly called on the president to step aside. Of course, Biden served in the Senate for 36 years. This is a sign that even some of his former colleagues have some serious doubts with.
And as you've noted, these next few days of the campaign will be critical. Rachel, thank you. Once again, Georgia's exclusive interview with President Biden airs tonight at 8 p.m. in the West here on ABC. The interview will air in full. Again, that's tonight at 8. We do move on now to Tropical Storm Beryl, now taking aim at the Texas coast this weekend. The storm slowing from a hurricane, but still packing winds up to 70 miles per hour. Beryl then expected to make landfall as a hurricane again Sunday night, hitting with a life-threatening storm surge, up to 15 inches of rain and flash flooding. ABC's Mireya Villarreal is in Texas.
Tonight, Texas is bracing for Beryl after the Category 2 hurricane roared across Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula near Tulum with 110-mile-an-hour winds, knocking out power in resort and vacation communities. Officials in Texas are urging residents to get ready.
We need a prepared community, not a panicked community.
Beryl has killed 11 people and left a trail of destruction across the Caribbean. The now tropical storm churning the Gulf, where it will intensify and take aim at Texas Sunday night. It comes just 2 weeks after Tropical Storm Alberto slammed South Texas, flooding beach communities.
The water zips under the house, and that's the only way you can stop it.
So tonight, along the coast, they are filling up sandbags and boarding up all over again.
We definitely prepare for the worst, but we're praying for the best.
There are no evacuation orders in place as of right now for South Texas, but with so many people visiting beaches over the holiday weekend, officials are now warning that there is an increased risk for riptides all along the Gulf Coast from Texas all the way to Florida as this storm starts to approach.
Mireya, thank you.